I'm going to talk to you about preparing and lighting the fire for the oven. So I usually start about an hour and a half, 2 hours before I'm going to cook. That way it gives enough time for the heat to really penetrate the floor and the dome of the oven, and I can get it to the temperature I need depending on what I'm cooking for you. So to begin with, I'm going to take the andiron and I'm going to place this in the back of the oven. So before I build a fire inside the oven, I'm going to build it outside of the oven just to show you how I construct it. So I like to think of it like you're building a little log cabin. You start by placing 2 pieces of wood like that. Fill the space in between with some kindle. Take 2 more pieces, place them across, and then you're going to put your larger kindle in between them. And then place 3 more pieces of wood on top of here. And you don't want to crowd the wood too much because you want to allow for good airflow once you light the fire. And then 3 more pieces on top like that. There's your little log cabin, and it's ready to light. So when you're ready to light the fire, there's a few ways you can do it. One is to use matches, the other is to use a lighter. But these are only good if you're using a fire starter or newspaper because they won't light wood very well. So my preferred method is the blowtorch because I'm impatient. I want to get the fire started quickly because I want to go back to preparing the food I'm going to put in it. I mean, to me, it's a really important moment, I think, actually lighting the fire. You got the wood-fired oven, you got the wood, but they're just kind of inert, so you're going to add the fire. But once you light the fire, you're committing yourself at that point to the oven. You need to keep an eye on that fire, and you need to nurture it, keep the fuel going to it, so it's a really important moment. Because ultimately, that's what's going to cook your food while you're doing the cooking. Yeah, to me, it's a very important moment, I think, lighting the fire. So you'll notice inside the dome, there'll be this kind of black soot or carbon that builds up inside the dome. And that's where the term black oven comes from. And you need to burn that off before you start cooking. And the way to do that is you have to get the temperature of the oven up to at least 650, and between 650 and 700 the black carbon will just basically go clear, it will burn off. There's a couple of ways you can do that. Using your heel, you can move the fire around the dome to each part of the dome and you'll watch it burn off. Or you can just keep adding fuel around the fire until you get the whole dome to reach that temperature of 650. You end up with this beautifully clear dome. It looks like the dome's brand new inside. And when it's done that, you know at that point the oven's ready to start cooking. Once the oven's ready, we're going to push the fire to the back of the oven. The only time I put it to the side is when I'm doing pizza, but we'll go into that when we do the pizza episode. But I'll push the fire to the back of the oven, I'll rest one of the logs on the andiron that we put in there in the very beginning. So the back of the oven, the temperature is going to be around 800-900 degrees. Wow. And in the front of the oven, it's going to be cooler around about 400-500. I mean, it's not cool, but it's cooler than in the back of the oven. But that way, when I'm cooking, I can regulate where I put the food based on the temperature I want it to cook at. So if I push it more towards the back of the oven, I'm getting a much higher temperature. If I pull it more towards the front of the oven, I'm getting a lower temperature. But so you want to push the fire away from you, that way you have more flexibility when you're cooking. You keep it going until you make the choice that you're done. And when you're done, you can just walk away and let it die. But up until that point, it needs all your attention.